Number 6.
The number 6 overall selection in the 2016 NHL Draft belongs to the Calgary Flames.
That was the Winnipeg Jets' position coming in. The Calgary Flames will fall back one spot. The Flames will now select 6, meaning Winnipeg is the first team to win one of the 3 draws. The Jets guaranteed to select in the top 3.
Number 3 overall selection in the 2016 NHL Draft belongs to Columbus Blue Jackets. The first overall selection in the 2016 NHL Draft belongs to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto has won the 2016 NHL Draft Lottery. Congratulations to Brendan Shanahan.
With the second pick in the 2016 NHL Draft, the Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Tampere of the Finnish Elite League, Patrik Laine.
I've never really gotten over the Patrik Laine trade. Like, I know a lot's happened since then. Pierre-Luc Dubois has been traded to LA, Gabriel Velarde, Alex Iafallo, Rasmus Kupari, the year that came after with those players, and everything that's happened since Laine's left. It's been just so dramatic. But nonetheless, I still haven't really gotten over the fact that that situation with Patrik Laine got to the point of them trading him, and, everything that's come after has just been so much drama and bullshit, and it's just so crazy to think about. Like, the Winnipeg Jets won the lottery. They got 2nd overall that year and selected Patrik Laine. And what he was able to accomplish with the Jets in his short time here is incredible. Like, he is one of the best teenage goal scorers in NHL history. And his run with Winnipeg is legendary. Like, we all know about how good he was going into the draft, with all the stuff he was able to accomplish in Finland. Coming over to his first year in Winnipeg, 36 goals, 64 points in 73 games. Imagine if he doesn't get injured in that game against Buffalo. His sophomore year, even better. 44 goals, 70 points. The Winnipeg Jets go on to the Western Conference Final and lose in 5 to Vegas, while he still has an incredible campaign in the playoffs as well. His 3rd year in Winnipeg, he drops off a little bit in production nonetheless, but still has a fantastic year. That's the year that he hits 5 goals in a game. Like, he was super hot, and then he started to have problems with goal scoring, and that's all anyone seems to remember with Patrik Laine. It's either you love him for what he brought in the early years and hate him for what he was in his last couple, or like me, you see how good of a player he was and you realize that goal scorers go through slumps. And the fact that there is any talk about reuniting with Patrik Laine right now just excites me to my core as a Jets fan. And if it doesn't excite you as a Jets fan, then I don't know if you can even call yourself one, to be completely honest. Like, Patrik Laine is an incredible player. And when you look at what he was able to accomplish with the Blue Jackets even, like, everyone likes to shit on Patrik Laine with the Blue Jackets. Ever since he's been there, everyone thinks he fell off. Everyone thinks the Jets just automatically won this trade. Well, Pierre-Luc Dubois didn't work out that well in Winnipeg. Like, yeah, we got a great return for him in that LA Kings swap, but when you look at things on paper, they were about the same in points. Patrik Laine improved his game so much in Columbus. Like, yeah, his goal totals weren't there to where they were in his first, second year, and even his 3rd year, but nonetheless, Patrik Laine improved as a player, and these were on shit Columbus teams. Like, if you're improving defensively on a terrible team, I think that's pretty good on your game. Like, Patrik Laine was good in Columbus, His first, in that COVID year after getting traded, 10 goals. Obviously, that's not that good. His first full season in Columbus, 26 goals, 22 goals, 56 points, 52 points. And then, obviously, this past year, a lot happened with Laine. Injuries, he had to enter the player's health system. But even then, look at his stats. Like, this is a legit top 6 legit goal scorer, and who's on a very high contract. But if you can get that retained, why would you not want to reunite with it? Like, it's crazy to me to think that there are some fans out there that are like, oh, this is a stupid idea, no one should be talking about it. I think there's a certain reason why a majority of Jets fans throughout all paths of social media are foaming at the mouth with the potential of reuniting with Patrik Laine. It just makes so much sense. Like, this guy needs a new start. He still has Winnipeg and holds Winnipeg in high regard. Like, he never really wanted to leave. If we want to get into the whole issues of the locker room of past years, that's, I've got tons of videos on this channel spanning the last couple of seasons, 3-4 years of it pretty much. And I got my most viewed videos talking about why Laine was quote-unquote bullied out of Winnipeg. Like, there are a lot of storylines that go with Laine leaving this team, and it's not really any of them good. And it doesn't come down to his play, it comes down to the attitude the locker room had towards him, it seemed. Like, he just did not mesh with the guys that were on that club. Looking at you, Blake Wheeler. But a lot's changed since then. The culture of the Winnipeg Jets has completely shifted to a point where it's not even recognizable to a couple of years ago. And I think Laine would fit in perfectly with this team. And it would also solve a lot of problems. The Jets need some offensive help. Laine needs a new situation to get himself back to where he was. Now that he's healthy, now that he's out of the Players Association, and they can actually, get better and get his game back. So much has happened to Patrik Laine mentally and physically over the last couple of years. No wonder he's struggled. And I'm just so happy to see him thriving again and to be, looking for a new opportunity in the NHL. And I think the Jets could really help him find his footing again. This is a completely new organization from where they were when they traded Patrik Laine. And I really believe that if the Jets want to go out there and acquire Patrik Laine, they have the tools to do so. They really do. They are in a situation where they need to acquire some defense. Columbus is looking to offload contracts. Patrik Laine is one of the guys they're looking to offload. It's why these trade talks have begun in the first place. They are willing to retain salary just to get rid of that contract because they're in a rebuild right now. The Jets are a team that need to add players on contract that are signed that for this kind of this new era that they're in, trying to compete right now. And Laine would fit that mold perfectly. Like I said, you saw his contract. He signed for a couple more years. He would be, had half retained in the top 6, playing with Brad Lambert, another Finnish phenom that could have some real chemistry with. Yeah, sign me up for that. I know that there's no real, here are the official rumors and the trade offers and all this stuff that's going on between Winnipeg, but there's a reason why everyone's talking about it. The city is buzzing. The Jets have obviously shown some interest, I would imagine. That's based on what every analyst is saying, so I think there's a really legit chance. And like I said, the Jets have the trade assets to do this. They really do. Rutger McGroarty, what's his big number one thing he wants when he's getting traded right now? He wants NHL opportunity. Columbus is going to be shit next year. Sorry, Blue Jackets fans. It's the reality of the situation. So yeah, Rutger McGroarty I could see him finding an opportunity on that club next year. And I think that, American as well. You can't get more American than Columbus when you look at where they play. It's like the Winnipeg of America, right? So, definitely get that vibes. I think you could definitely make this trade work. Chevy's already traded with them in the past. Maybe you look at, swapping Neil Pionk in there as well. You throw Neil Pionk in there with the salary to match salary. And then if you're also looking to help New Jersey, to the Columbus out even more, the Jets are looking to add defensively. They need to look at really bringing in someone that can help stabilize the defensive core. A good, solid, reliable two-way defenseman that could be a legit, potentially a number 2 or number 3 defenseman on a team. And I think that Columbus might have the answer for that, I think that there is a really good chance that Rutger McGroarty paired with a Neil Pionk and maybe, a third-round pick or something like that, you bring in Patrik Laine with a little bit retained, and then maybe you look at going after another player, maybe like a Damian Severson, who's signed to a very long contract, who is, maybe, Columbus, I know Columbus is probably looking at offloading that too, potentially, because of the term on that. So maybe you find a way to bring in a guy like Severson who could really help this club out. And I think that, I genuinely believe that. That's a guy that could come in and make a difference on the blue line, who is under contract, who could really, I think, could mesh in well with a lot of the guys already signed to this team. I really believe that, and it's why I think that this whole Patrik Laine situation just makes so much sense, and why so many people are grabbing onto it, not only because of the nostalgia, but because there are players on Columbus that are also looking to shop that would really fit in well, and the Jets need to move on from Neil Pionk. You look at his contract, $6 million going into the next year. You can move on from that contract. You can completely get rid of it without having to buy him out. You can move on from him. He's not been amazing for the Jets. He's kind of gotten worse every year. He looked great in COVID, but after that, it's been terrible. And then you look at that contract right there, 6.2 for Severson. That's a bit of money, don't get me wrong. But this is a guy that could come in and really stabilize things for the Jets and have some more offensive production, who could really fit in well there with the top 6. And not only mentioning the whole Nikolai Ehlers situation, Patrik Laine and Nikolai Ehlers are fucking best friends and have been for a very long time. So if you get, Ehlers playing on a line with Laine and potentially Brad Lambert, that could be a huge boost to keeping Ehlers around. You don't want to trade Ehlers. I keep coming back to this argument. You're not going to get a a guy that's going to completely revolutionize the defense just for Ehlers. If you were doing Ehlers for Severson, that's a terrible trade. But if you're, moving up in Pionk and the working parts with the cap and a prospect and some picks, and you're trying to bring in guys that can really help you now to a team that's looking to sell bad contracts, I think it makes a lot of sense. And you got to keep Ehlers. Trading Ehlers is not going to fix this team. It'll probably make us worse next year. So keeping him is crucial. And I think that Columbus and the Jets could definitely work something out that get the Jets to a better position come playoff time next year. And that's all that matters. We knew how good they were in the regular season. Connor Hellebuck won the Vezina. It was a great regular year. We all are super happy. You know, Rick Bowness got Jack Adams nomination. You know, like, it was great. It was a great year, but the playoffs stinked. Losing in 5 games to Columbus like that, and the effort of that, the most goals allowed in a first-round loss in 5 games in NHL history, like, it was terrible. There have to be changes, and I think as crazy as this sounds, this could really put the Jets in a new spot, in a new area of contention that could really elevate them. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm insane? Batshit insane? I don't care. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you like to see Patrik Laine back in a Jets sweater come next season? And do you think the pieces are there to make this work? Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Check out all the affiliate links down in the description below. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go! And I'll see you guys in the next one.